morning, and how are you this morning?
Good morning, Belize. Good morning, and it's 6:31. Means it's time for this Tuesday's edition of the Morning Show. I'm Ernesto here in the studio. With me is Troy. Good morning, Troy.
Hey, Ernesto.
And
good
everybody,
morning.
welcome.
Good morning. Yes. Good morning. And as I always say, no, I did not sleep here. For those persons who are following the show last night, the business hour. And so I want to say pleasant good morning to all of viewers and listeners throughout the length and breadth of this be a beautiful jewel of ours. Those that used to be in the diaspora, we're glad you could join us as well. And we trust that this morning's discussions are going to be entertaining and informative. And today is the 30th of June, Ernesto. And so June is fast getting away from us. And tomorrow is already the start of the second half of the year, the 1st of July. And of course, if you bought the Bolido last night and you bought Art 4, then you won. Congratulations. If not, you could try again tonight. Where another draw comes up at 9:10 p.m. on Love FM and Love Television. Art 404 is the number drawn last night. And of course, we do have
well, this morning we invited none other than the Honorable Shine Barrow to join us Sunday set. And we'll do some talking about his, very interesting character. We know that.
Well, you have a lot of things going on, yes. And so we want to hear what's going on, and as well as he's been in the news as well as a recent as well, and we want to know what's his plan going forward.
That's right.
What's on the horizon?
Find out what he feels about what's going on in today's entertainment.
Yes, and political, you know, because he straddles both spheres of both areas or terrain, for that matter. Oil price is a little bit over $70.36 this morning. It's been slowly, it's kind of free fall, and then now it's kind of drip going on a little bit. So
because there's still uncertainty in the Middle East.
Yeah, indeed, and you know the whole issue.
Ships are moving.
Yeah.
Not as many as usual, but ships are moving. So there's some activity there affecting the price of fuel. When this all started, the cost of flying went up because airplane fuel was expensive, and now that it's coming back down, it has come back down for at least a month. Apparently the airlines say, we're not going to drop our prices.
No, because the demand is up.
That's right.
And remember, we talk about that all the time, the whole issue of sticky price. The price it's more difficult to bring it down because they're already used to that level of revenue or income, and they don't want to shrink it. And the only thing that can shrink it is reduction in demand. If demand goes down, then they will have to drop the prices in order to see whether or not they could attract more persons to fill their seats. But right now they have more persons wanting to fly than they have seats. So they're saying, well, if you're willing to pay the high price to travel, well, so be it. Pay it, and I will collect it.
And the same thing will occur with us on our cars on the ground. The prices won't drop. In fact, President Trump has threatened the retailers in the U.S. to drop their price or they'll have problems.
Well, he is paper tiger. Every minute he issue a threat. Tomorrow I'll bomb you. Next week. Oh, please, stop it. All he does is create more hysteria because, he plays on the stock market, I believe, and it might impact his overall wealth as well. So, it's part of a strategy to possibly self-enrich themselves, and I see it happening all the time.
Yeah.
Every time he says something like that, there's a reaction in terms of the markets, which basically works on emotion, and people, if you have money, you win, and so that's a strategy.
That's where the world is going when it comes to economics and getting rich. the rich are getting richer.
We see Elon Musk in all the hard times, his value had skyrocketed
Be
to over
the
$1 trillion.
first trillionaire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's take a break. We'll be back and we'll open the phone lines and chat with you. Stay with us, please. Welcome back, everybody. 203-2098. Give us a call. There's anything on your mind that you think would be interesting to talk about, or you want to open up a discussion. We have a few minutes now and later on in the program. Let's do it. There's never a lack of things to talk about. Just like, well, we're a country, we're a people, we are a developing entity, and we have our own problems. And, you know, we have the subjects that come up every single day. You know, like crime and politics, and those are the two main ones, and what's affecting the life of of all of us
legions
here.
on a whole.
But we don't have the monopoly on those.
I see in Belmopan that the United Democratic Party, you reported in the news, held I don't know, it's a gathering or so of their membership. Do you think the People's United Party as a political party vying for government or to remain in government feel amidst all that's happening with the MIRA issues and others, threatened in any way based on where the United Democratic Party is today?
No, I don't think so, because the opposition needs is having its own issues. It's not as strong and credible I think, to offer a threat at this point in time.
Okay.
Hello, caller. Good morning. You're on the air. This is Love.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Ernesto.
Morning, sir.
I do want to ask if I can talk about issue with, I believe, Heritage Bank.
Heritage?
Yes, Heritage Bank.
Okay. Go ahead, caller.
It's hello.
What
Yes,
happened?
good morning.
What happened with Heritage? Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah,
Go
listen
ahead.
through the phone, caller. You need to listen through the phone, not through your device, other devices.
All right. Yes, good morning. I'm just calling concerning an issue that we had a few days ago in Benquevejo del Carmen. I have a guy who was who had an account. He had approximately about $3,000 in that account. And over air, he went back to the bank to try to withdraw some money off his bank account.
Yes.
And he found out that $600 was short out of his bank account. And
Okay.
he haven't withdrawn anything from his bank account. And he was told that it was charges due to inactivity.
Okay.
And the
$600.
thing is, I want to get some clarification concerning that. This man is a 90-year-old old man who has his account in this local bank, and he thought that he had exactly what he had in the bank, not that he would be $600 short.
Okay.
And I would like to know if there's some clarification about that.
Let me ask a
in
question,
how-
caller. Were you able to obtain a statement for that account? Because that would show the evidence.
That would show where
right where
the
that
movement.
deduction occurred. Yes. So were you able to do that?
I would, as it's not my account, it's my father-in-law account.
No.
Well,
but
advise him to
have
get his
to-
statement first and foremost. Get the statement.
To get a clarification on why.
Yeah, but
that was
you
done.
need to have the statement, and then that is going to show the movement on the account. And then, because otherwise we're just kind of talking in a vacuum. The statement is the evidence of what
Right.
activities
and if
occur
he needs
on
to
your
go
account.
as far back as he needs to.
All right?
All right. Well, thank you very
That
much.
would be my advice right now to start. But otherwise, we're just talking in a vacuum and speculating. The statement
All
will
right.
say exactly on what date everything, any activity that occurred on that account should be displayed there.
All right.
Yeah, he has a right
thank you
to
very
that.
much.
Thank you, caller.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah, I mean,
that's really where you start. Start at the statement as far back to kind of track all the movements on his account.
And the only way that could happen is if you're not active in that account. Because if you're in there every month, say, you would immediately notice any movement
well,
that you
well,
did not
you know,
authorize.
there's some charges that the bank occur that they charge the sort of
Yeah.
custodial fee and stuff like
About
that.
$600?
But well, it depends on how long. So that's why the statement would say it could be incremental charges over a period of time. I don't know what's the span.
Yeah.
Well, when he had the $3,000 as the caller using that as a base figure, and then work your way towards the
It could be
present
a yearly
as to
charge.
what it is that they
Yeah.
charge.
Can they charge you a
it
monthly
sounds high if
contribution?
that's a charge, but I am not going to speculate because the statement is going to clearly display
That's right.
Maybe he had a withdrawal. He himself may have forgotten.
He has
Could
a right,
have.
he has a right to ask for that to go all the way back, as far back as he wants to.
Well, online banking, well, like he says, is it's eligible person, but if the person is still savvy and could have access to your account, you could actually see it electronically now, with the technology.
Hello, caller. Good morning. This is Love.
Yes, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning,
morning.
sir.
Yes, this one is direct for Mr. Troy.
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir.
Because I was listening to the Waves media yesterday, man, and that man was properly well lambasted by Miss Juliet Timber. I don't know if what she was really saying about this man, she have proof or evidence, but this man was properly well lambasted.
Which one?
Who you talking? Oh, me lambase? They lambase me?
Yes, sir, yes.
Oh.
What else is new?
About social security money and all of that stuff.
Oh Lord. Well, I have to get the tape and get my liar on it then, and see where we go from there then. Maybe we'll have champagne money.
Well, very good, my brother.
Thank you,
People have
caller.
to put these people in check because these people going all over the place
Well-
digging up stupidness and talking stupid things about people, which is not correct.
Exactly. Well, I've always said, and I think I have this discussion several times as opposed to due process, because oftentimes we try to throw things that we think might stick, even though it has no merit. There is no infraction that occurs, and if you hear me all the time, even as we discuss this mirror issue, it is about due process. And so if you have any issue that you want to bring up at any point in time, it must be based on evidence base. And then what's the point of bringing up something if there's nothing improper that has occurred? Thanks, caller.
If you call us, remember to listen to us through your telephone, because then you will hear us directly and on time. If you follow us, if you call us on the phone and you're listening to us through your radio or your TV, there's a delay. So when we respond to you, you won't get that response immediately, and that will make you pause because you're waiting for an answer when you got your answer already.
Yeah.
The answer comes directly through the telephone that you're calling us by.
Exactly. Listen to us through the phone, because that's the best way to communicate.
Yeah, because you're on that's timely at that point. That's a real conversation. Hello, caller. Good morning. You're on the air. This is Love.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Ernesto. I'm calling from San Ignacio.
From where?
From San Ignacio.
Yes, sir. You're so far. Are you speaking directly into your device?
From where the white truck passed on the Santiago layout area and burst the main line. So the whole area, I guess, is without electricity now.
Oh,
What's
what happened?
what's the
You want to
area?
repeat that? The truck what?
A truck pass
A
and
truck passed and burst one of the main wires from the street that goes cross and cross. So I guess
Oh.
there's gonna be
Okay, give us the directions again.
Santiago Juan layout, San Ignacio.
Santiago Juan Layout, San Ignacio, a truck burst a cable, and now they're out of power.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
yeah, so that's BL too. If they're
Yeah.
listening, check it out.
Also, they can call. BL has a direct line. BL cares, and you can report the incident. You can do that. They have that facility.
Indeed.
Yeah,
indeed.
the optics with the present government, and I keep saying this, that this government seems to be under some serious scrutiny since they came into office. They're being watched. There are whistleblowers now. There are leaks occurring constantly, and a lot of the, what would I call it, the mishandling and misappropriation of funds throughout the years, is rearing its head, and the optics are not good. The optics are not good.
Yeah.
But at this present time, too, also the optics of the opposition is not good either.
Yeah.
So, and they're struggling to build back their credibility and their trust. So, I could say that Mr. Briceño gets up in the morning and probably has, look here, man, we have to clear up this mess and we have to do better. But that is his first concern, not, you know what, we could lose this thing, you know.
Yeah.
You know, but like somebody mentioned to me the other day, I said, you know, the voters are finicky. Sometimes they don't look at what they're changing for. They don't like you and they move you,
Yeah, exactly.
you know. So
Well,
we have the municipals coming up next year. Usually that's a measurement, you know.
tend to be a sort of referendum sometimes, when especially a midterm type election like this one. The ultimate issue is that it takes some sort of ignition for things to form. We saw back, I think, again yesterday in the discussion, we looked at the 1998-2003 People's United Party government, that it took a small spark issue, controversy, and then it kind of crescendoed and built into by 2006. Within a period of like 2 years, the government lost its level of popularity. And so it's very important for political parties to recognize the historical events that have occurred and to see how you navigate to not have repetition of the same deja vu components. And the same thing the opposition is hoping for, that like a mirror.
Just as a cycle.
Like a mirror situation becomes that start of spark for them to create this. And I think the leader of the opposition kind of alluded to the possibility that this could become that burning inferno,
The thing is, Troy, that I've been around long enough to hear the politicians and their usual narratives, and and it's more of the same.
Yeah.
You know, when you're in opposition, you criticize the government in power for not doing the right things. And we as voters, we do have short memories.
We do.
You know, the phrase is always do the right thing to the government in power, but you don't have the answers either. But
Well,
by criticizing...
the question now would be, what would you do different except for crime, the crime
But
situation?
that question is all the time.
Yeah, what
Every
would you do
time
different?
it's the same narrative,
Yeah,
the same expression. Troy, you're in power now. Do the right thing. Stop the crime.
Yeah.
You know. So we, the voters, because I am hoping that when I say that, you will look at me and not ask me what I will do.
Yeah.
You will just say, "Hey, you do criticizing like me. I do criticizing." It's all right.
And that is why I've said
changes.
our weakness in this system is democracy. Democracy creates a whole different structure, basically a musical chair structure. It's a circulation of politicians who move from government to opposition, So
it is changing, Troy. It is changing now. We can see it. I think the populace and the citizenry, the man on the street, is getting a little smarter.
Please.
They are.
They're the same.
Look.
They will criticize. They will join in the nice, and then next couple of years they'll do the same. That is what democracy does. But you're not progressing, because leadership still comes from the government. The people are still looking for the government for leadership. Everything you hear about will fall right back to the government. Where the government,
yes, the
it's
government
not about
is
what you can do for yourself or what you should be doing for yourself. So we've been around a long time to be able to see that
we
it's
just
cyclical.
a vicious circle. It's
very
a circle
cyclical.
we go through. It's the same comments, the same thing all the time. The opposition is saying, and I'm sure I've heard this many times before, telling the government, "Well, I'm ready to work with you."
And then why so small amount of people come out? Oh, because they have victimized them, and so you go through that same.
But we have more whistleblowers now than we had before. Hello, caller. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Ernest. Good morning, Sagat.
Yeah, morning.
I'm listening to the conversation, and I beg to differ a bit with you, Mr. Guff, because I believe that and just looking at it, the optics, this is, it's not a free democracy then, because just look at the example of Minister Perez in San Pedro, right? Not everybody has the same opportunity to do what his niece has in being able to cash out these Andre Perez bucks or whatever you want to call it. I mean, that's not the same. It's not a free democracy. Where do you apply to be able to do that, right? I mean, when it was the United Democratic Party, certain importers were favored over others. It's not a free democracy. It's not free capitalism as we like to say it is. That's arranged. Only some people get what they get, and in a way, that is what creates that disenfranchisement, not only with the voters, but also with the general public. You know, you have that general feeling of malaise that you can't do nothing unless you know somebody. So,
yeah, thanks, caller. That grocery bag thing has never been. I've never been a fan of that sort of, and it's been going on for a long time because it's a selective process. I don't like it, but it happens in a democratic society all over. The Americans have food stamp, which is the same thing. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing, right? Yeah. And so there is this what you call a social safety net that the state believes that I have to provide for certain persons. Yeah. But and again, the United States get accused of the same thing that some of the bigger stores are the ones that get the food stamp, and I've heard this same complaint about especially conservative people that's their complaint, that only special interest entities or grocery store get the benefit of cashing in.
And I hear you. I think I hear you saying the general population accept these things as normal after a while.
Yeah.
You know, we just change. You know, they were saying black dog for monkey. Yeah. You know, we just do that. But because trust, we don't trust, I guess, in ourselves and our own system. What he brought up, our Minister Andre Perez, and when we brought up the news of O'Meara, we said, well, this has happened before with Minister Perez. What did we learn from Mr. Perez's suspension? I mean, did we conclude anything from that? No. Was he punished for what he did? Well, did we benefit from it? You know?
No.
Hello, Carla. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, Carla. Morning.
Yes, Chief. Just my 2 cents as it relates to the social contribution, no? I agree that everywhere in the world does provide such safety net. However, why is it not trickled down through the human services so that the political preference is taken away? You know, whether the business that are selected is given the opportunity to provide year in, year out, that's fine. But then when it comes to the general public, it takes away the political interference.
Okay. All right.
So that's just my 2 cents on it. Let it run through the government system so that the political interference, whether red or blue, is withdrawn from the equation.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Well, but that's the whole basis of our conversation here. You can't get away from the political interference. That's the whole issue. This boils down right now. This whole issue with Minister O'Meara and so on boils down to it's a public purse. That's the first thing we have to understand. This is money that the minister did not earn himself, or this is money collected from the people.
But careful, because the minister, we don't know that the minister get any money out of this
No,
thing.
I didn't say
So,
but it gets bigger than that.
Yeah.
You go back to the Joint Public Accounts Committee, for instance. So this is not just one ministry. I am hearing out there, I have friends, you know, they talk to us, they come and say, boy, you know, I'm hearing that millions of dollars have been misappropriated over the years. Millions. If we really, but we have to go back and look for it.
But I could say trillion too.
Yes.
Trillions of them and billions. But the point is, I have no evidence. I have no evidence.
Because the people who are supposed to go look for it and account for it are the same ones who control it. So we as a people, how do we
look at this?
That?
Look at this irony. In 2008, there's all this so-called everybody that thief, everybody this, everybody corrupt. The government stays in for 13 years. 13 years you have the UDP government. Nobody from the People's United Party was brought up for anything. Right. people accuse everybody doing this, doing that. Not one shred of evidence came forward during that 13 years.
Because it could reflect on you
and so
too.
now in 6 years of the People's United Party, yes, we have only back and forth with Rene Montero, but the nothing major and egregious. So nothing happens. We talk about this one getting so much millions and that one stealing so much millions, and here we are, 6 years later, no shred of evidence, no
That's
shred
not-
of anything.
That's
So
not
I'm
my
saying,
question. Did we learn anything?
what I'm saying is that these allegations fly through, and I'm trying to have this more from an educated academic discussion, void of emotion, that we live through this cycle. Dean Barrow made it clear to us the last time he was power. To the victors go the spoil, the spoils. But Barack Obama tells you election has consequences. So because I win the election, I get to select, I get to choose, I get to do all of these things. And this, we see it
Basically,
happening
you give
right
me
now.
that right and permission.
Yes, we see that happening with Donald Trump in the United States as well. And so when a government gets in power, that is the circumstance that they get to exert on the system. And no, that's where I continue to say, under this democratic structure that we
Has
have,
to be.
that
Well-
is, and no, is there a better way? People
Well,
don't like
maybe-
people don't like the draconian way.
Well,
But-
maybe that's why Mamdani won in New York. You know, it's
But
what they call it
even-
social democracy.
Well,
and
that
all
is even more open. It is more, that social democracy is then more politically laced than any other system, because
Well,
it's built on
supposed-
handouts.
Well, no,
It's
not
premise
really.
on
I wouldn't say
handouts.
it's built on handout. It's supposed to take care more of the average citizen than oligarchs
It's
and the rich.
socialism. It's a bad word for conservatives.
Well, there could be a limited socialism. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, 2 minutes after 7, we'll continue the discussion later. Right now, we'll take a break and we'll continue the show with our guest.
In
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the morning show, which we hope is the most widely heard and seen show on the morning circuit. And we also have, of course, listeners and viewers outside of Belize who are watching. I just got a message from a family member. He's watching me. You know, I don't know if he'll watch you, but I need to watch me.
Technology. They can't even see you without seeing me.
And we have a guest in studio. I don't think we need to introduce this guest. In fact, I think he's better known than you and I put together.
Yes, he could open some doors I can't even get to the top of the stairs. We certainly want to welcome to the studios Moses Shine Barrow, of course, and as Ernesto says, no stranger. So, Shine, how has it been going? How's the morning?
It's been excellent. What's happening with basketball? Used to be my... Was you too?
I know.
Used to go to all of the games.
He own team now.
Front side. I think he always was involved with the
Yes. I've been the commissioner
I
for...
had to wait for the finals.
Okay. So you're not gone yet?
No. I wait for the...
You the man go to every game. I had big game Saturday.
I know.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Me personally, I've been the commissioner for several years previously.
Okay.
And then subsequently, I've taken up a share in one of the teams, the Orange Hawk Running Rebels. We're actually in the finals playing the Belize City Defenders. Game one was on Saturday night.
Right.
We lost, unfortunately.
How many more games now? 3?
Well,
Your son used to coach the Defenders.
Yes.
Right?
They used to coach Defenders, yes. In its inception.
Yes.
Yes, it's a best of 5 series. So game 2, moves to Orange Hawk this Friday night. So
when are you back in the city?
The following Friday.
Good
following
luck
the
with
10th,
that,
I think it would be.
Sports, I used to hear certain politicians talk about how sports could really bring a country together, bring people together. And I really saw that with my beloved New York Knicks, right? And I know just come. I got my Allen Houston jersey from 1999.
99 against the Spurs.
When I attended that one of those final games, I think that's when Patrick Ewing missed that finger roll instead of dunking the ball. But to see how New York for 53 years went without a trophy and how for the last couple of seasons every year they're there but they're not there. But just to watch how everyone, all the different classes, ethnicities, religion just came together around religion, around sports. I really saw what some political figures that I've heard say it, but I understood it, but to the greatest core. Sports and entertainment, really we need to invest more as a nation because it can really do so much for us as people. And I think that goes a long way to our development as a nation.
So you see right now the World Cup going on, how much of a frenzy that creates for nations.
Indeed. And I just think it's a matter of time. I think more of those leaders, those political figures will come along that understand the importance of the creative sector, the athletes, as well as education. I think those are the 3 things. You educate a people, you build them so that they can build your nation. The discipline that comes with being involved with sports helps to build character as well. And entertainment, obviously, that lifts the spirits. But man, I've never seen, I went to the not the finals, right before the finals, the Eastern Conference Finals.
Okay.
The game where the Knicks were down by 23 in the 4th quarter. And everybody to rail up, everybody bets.
Against Cleveland.
Then they walk out of the place. And I know a thing or two about being down, like way down, being blown out in life and coming back. I know that any number could play. And from the Knicks, the paradigm of watching the Knicks, they always find something within them, which I think all human beings have. But I really would hope that we have more figures, like the current Minister of Sports. We had other figures, somebody who I don't necessarily, I'm not a fan of them at all. But one of the people that used to say it was John Saldivar, just to be fair, when he was Minister of Sports, but the then Minister of Finance did not find it fit to.
Yeah, he was very involved.
to
He had
give-
team like the
Yes, but
Belmopan
as he
Bandits,
was
and
Minister of
Minister-
Sports at one time.
Yeah.
And, you know, unfortunately, when the budget was being allotted, sports was not a priority. So I
Yeah.
would really hope to see that this government and succeeding governments would invest more. And private sector. There's a lot of money in Belize. Every time I return to Belize, I see a new building being built. I see construction all over Belize City in particular, because I don't get an opportunity to travel out to the districts as much as I would like. But my goodness, every other
There's
street,
activity going on.
something is being built. So that means the private sector has a lot of cash. And sports and entertainment is the place to invest. I'm telling you, when you see what is happening with the World Cup, it just brings such great residuals, such great dividends, not just to build a nation domestically, but internationally, which would lead to greater tourism. It's just one of the greatest investments that you can make.
You know, as you're talking about that, and this is not to keep on the subject, but as we look over the last 25 to 30 years as we progress, and you weren't here, at least for a chunk of that, but there were times when there was that sort of fervor for sport. It was like the thing. It was what everybody spoke about, and
When
so
I used to play that bird's eye.
yeah, and move into the advent of semi-professional basketball, and so
Polo Lightburn.
yeah. We gone through the Happy Home Builders
Harry
time,
Bunks.
and Harry Cadle and all of them, and Rajat Stadium with Harry Bunks and all of them. But the point I wanted to kind of bring the discussion towards, in terms of how we progress and how we dealt with these matters, because on or around the time when the semi-professional part of Belize started to grow in sports, both football and basketball, pushed a lot by the Amandala people to get into that level of professionalism, moving from the amateur level. It also saw, almost coincidentally, the spike of hideous homicides and crime. So they almost dovetailed. So you had a peak, a sort of huge peak with sports, where people felt coming out and felt that the product was elevated and they wanted to be there. And then you get the damper that, you know, the crime situation has now occurred, and people start to say, well, it might be safer for me to stay in than come out and all of that. You know, it's a wrong situation and all. So I said, for a chunk of it, you weren't here, but I'm sure historically you probably tracked it. So we're seeing this trajectory of a crime impacting sports attendance in particular, because you don't want to play to empty stadiums or empty areas. You want people to be there. And that also fuel the financing of it, help subsidize. And so how does do one look at that now in the advent of other jurisdictions that we see sports flourishing to that level?
You know, one of my, I think it's too early. I think he has a lot of years left. But I think when it's said and done, Andrew Holness will go down as, you know, one of the best prime ministers the Caribbean has ever seen.
Jamaican prime minister.
Yes, because when you look at what he has done with homicides and violent crime in Jamaica, the type of reduction that country has seen, the type of
What kind of
turnaround.
formula you see they're applying there?
Well, I believe it is always multi-pronged. But one of the things that I have studied and adopted from him as policy is something that I had mentioned when I was leader of opposition. You have to take care of the people. And when I say the people, I'm talking about your police officers, your security forces. We have even the current holdover Minister of Home Affairs saying that morale is quite low at Home Affairs. And when I used to say that as opposition leader, my good friend Remo Musa would get vexed with me, and even my better friend, my Beste Cheste, the former commissioner, who is indeed a friend, would get livid. But we know of what we speak, and I say that in terms of we need to invest more in security forces, police officers, and I'm talking basic quality of living, being able to own a home. I'm not talking about a 3-story mansion, or I'm talking about just a modest roof over their heads. To be able to have transportation, our officers should not be hitchhiking. It's a security risk for them. Healthcare, being able to educate their children, being able to educate themselves. Yeah. All of these things lead to better
morale
or worse officers, worse security forces, which will lead to the crime and violence that we can't seem to contain. Because if, I'm renting a room,
I couldn't agree with you.
I'm renting a room, I don't even have no transportation, I have to catch bus. If I get sick and drop down, I can't even get health care. Man, we have to do better for our security forces, and I'm not putting this at the feet of the Briceño administration. You said for the last 30, I said for the last 40 odd years since independence.
Well, I understand that because I was shocking semi-professional.
Yeah, but we have not done...
Because that's when we try to change
But I think that is the solution there. And it's not, you want to be public officer, just do the job. People are human beings. And for the life of me, I cannot understand why our people have to live like that. I'm not a socialist by any means. I don't mean to take away from the private sector with all of the wonderful construction we see happening and the cash that is flowing. But all I'm saying is the government, in their budget, every year they need to find the money, as the great Colonel Hyde used to say, to invest in human infrastructure, not all of the roads and highways that lead to nowhere.
Now, looking back at your career, like you said, you had your ups and downs, and so.
Politically or musically?
Well, I think in both areas you would have your ebb and flows.
Yes.
But where you see yourself now, right now, based on all we've heard and what you've done, you did your show in Brooklyn, you got the keys to Brooklyn, you had all of these great accolades, you opened up all these doors, because you've always been saying that all I needed to do was to be able to get back to the United States, and I will be able to show Belize that my value is greater out there than maybe you're giving me here.
Yeah.
How does that transcend that prophetic statement that, in order for you to make it, you have to go outside before you're able to make it inside?
Yeah.
And what is that catapulting you in terms of your plans going forward?
Politically.
In both areas. I want to straddle both areas.
The question is, which one at this point in time in your life are you looking to pay more attention to?
I'm doing both.
Political or you're just playing it by ear and see which one?
I'm doing absolute both. One of the benefits of growing up in the United States is the many dualities and pluralities of career success.
Yeah.
I've watched people wear so many different hats and be great at it all. Even go back to sports. Deion Sanders playing at the World Series, play the Super Bowl, same season, right? After the
Yes,
seasons
yes.
would go. As a matter of
One of
fact,
the rarities.
I think actually there was one time
Bo Jackson too.
he was playing at the same time. The seasons were happening at the same time, and he had to fly a private plane.
Yes, for
to-
both on one game today.
Exactly.
Yes.
So this idea of shut up and be an entertainer.
Shut up and drill.
Yeah, you can't do both, or somehow you lack the intellectual capacity to be able to create songs that move the world, and policy is absolute rubbish. And what I have found, I have many friends throughout the Caribbean, in parliament, in government, in opposition, and whether they have PhDs or they're juggernauts like a Michael Finnegan that has no formal education, the bottom line is political will. Having the fortitude to make the right decisions. And through my life experiences, I have proven that I have the testicular fortitude to make difficult decisions which any leader that wants to take a country forward will have to make. I stood up against all the old guard in my party because I knew that we needed to go in a different direction or we would become dinosaurs, which is what you see happening now. UDP is in a worse situation than it was when I was there because they refused to get rid of that archaic mentality and they allowed the old guard to prevail for now. Because again, as I said, I haven't given up. But the duality of my life will continue. Manly, Marley. That's how God created the world, for new things to happen, for boundaries to be pushed. And I see no reason why I have to choose one over the other. I'm very fortunate at this time that I'm not in Parliament, or I would have never been able to have the bandwidth to engage at a professional level, at the highest level in entertainment as I'm doing now. And to be quite honest, it is not something that I wanted.
It's not the question.
It's not something that I wanted. I would have preferred to stay in Parliament in Belize.
Okay.
Because in my life, I always marvel at people, and I appreciate everyone. I'm not a judgmental person. I'm tolerant, but what works for me works for me. So I know to judge you. If for you to do make you happy, good for you, right? Mm-hmm. But I know what makes me happy. And serving my fellow country women and men, serving the people in Mesopotamia, being a party leader, being a nation builder, nothing made me happier other than being a father to my wonderful daughter, Naomi. Even more than being on the stage, more than entertaining. And it's quite similar. When you're on the stage and you perform for people, these songs, these songs that they can remember where they were, what they were doing, that song lifted them up, that song inspired them, that song allowed them to get through a period of their life in some way. It really is a spiritual thing. It really,
So
nothing...
You would be like a singing politician?
Well, I don't know if you call it...
Because they have different demands,
I don't know what you would call it, but let me finish what I'm saying. I wouldn't do both. Right now I can do both because I'm not in Parliament.
Okay.
So I can be...
Which was the point of my question.
Yes, but I just told you what I told you what I want more. And
Okay.
so definitely the timeline is perfect.
Okay.
Because I have a few years until the next general elections. Even though the people in Mesopotamia say they want to recall the current era representatives, so we have to look at that. If they sign the petition and the numbers are there, then I will stand up. But I have
So there's an active process.
Every time I return, that's what they're telling me. I say on the shore, On the shore,
There's a window, right?
on the shore, yes.
You only have a
Well, no, the window starts in October.
18-month
The window starts in October.
alright.
You have to wait 18 months.
Yes, yes.
And that begins soon.
Yes, it's the middle 18.
But I left there because it's similar to a relationship. You know, a woman have to want you, no matter what. You know, be good. You can't force it. You can't push it. The woman have to want you. And it's the same thing, and I mean that most respectfully. It's the same thing in politics. The people have to want you. You can't force yourself on the people. And so I always say, on the shore, that we don't want. But the point I'm making is I have a period right now where I can put everything into creating these bodies of work in music. I have 3 memoirs that I'm working on. I have my definitive memoir that will be released next year. Then in 2028 and 2029, I will do a political memoir in 2028 that will go into, you know, how I got into politics and all that I've been through in politics and where I plan to go in politics. And then I will do a spiritual memoir because I'm not a religious person now. I'm a spiritual person. I'm a humanitarian. I believe in humanity. I don't believe in any particular religion, and I'd like to talk about that journey. And then I have a TV series about my life that I'm working on, and then a motion picture, which will probably come a bit later. And then we have the tour. So I'm officially going on the tour starting end of September through the United States first. Then we go to Europe, Africa, Asia, Australia, Latin America, Caribbean.
What's the makeup of that tour will look like in terms of who will be on the card?
I can't tell you now.
Okay.
We will announce in a few weeks. I'll come back.
Well, I
I'll
think
say
that kind of answers our
yes.
questions for the present. You are
Yeah.
very busy in the arts,
Yes.
Which is something you love, obviously.
Yes. And every time I come
Yeah.
back, I go to Mesopotamia. I had my Mother's Day event in Mesopotamia. I mean to cut you off. My office is still in Mesopotamia. I just gave out a few laptops. As soon as I come back, I do some type of entrepreneur support, education support. So I'm very, very active politically. I give my opinions as to the current landscape. And there's a lot of talk of corruption and crime and all that is happening, and I give my opinion
But
on that.
what is the result of your tours and so on? I mean, there's a demand for you, and you need to stay in that life and deliver to your fans.
No.
I mean,
no.
are you just doing that?
I go back.
Are you just doing that?
I
as-
forgot what king it was that relinquished his throne for the woman that he loved.
Oh.
So
yeah.
if a king want to relinquish their throne for love, certainly I am prepared.
Boy, you sound like you want to serve 2 masters.
No. You keep insisting on something, and I keep telling you that I wish to serve in Parliament, and that when the time comes, I will only serve in Parliament. I can't make it more clear. For you, it may be difficult to understand being able to walk away
Well,
from
it's
one
not
for the
understand.
other.
I mean, in politics, the first thing a politician is to serve his people.
Yes.
When
but
you're in the
I am
arts or
not-
you're an artist,
Yeah.
you have a fan base
Yes.
that demands your time.
But I'm not in Parliament right now, so
So you have
really
that
can't-
free rein.
I really can't understand your inability to reconcile the fact that I am not in Parliament. I am not officially in any capacity to do anything. The people in The people in Mesopotamia
Okay.
elected a representative. I am telling you what is the word on the street. When I come back, they say they would want to recall the area rep. I say, on the shore, I don't want to involve myself in on the thing. On the shore, I don't want to wait till general election. They say, no, we want him gone. No, so those are conversations. But as it stands, I am not a member of Parliament. I am not the area representative. So I have to treat with the opportunities that I have in my career and in entertainment. But I still serve my people as best as I can. But they made a decision and they elected a representative. So I am not in any official
Are
capacity.
you a member of the UDP?
always be a member of the UDP.
Do you
Yes.
think the UDP needs some help? If you want to succeed in the next general elections, you need to be a part of a body that has the attraction that the citizenry will
Yes.
vote and replace what we have now, and you want to be a part of that.
Well, I don't
You
want
have
to be a part
dedicate-
of the current leadership, to be quite frank. I am a UDP, but am I happy with the direction that the party is going? Am I happy with the dishonesty, with the broken
Do you need
promises? Well,
Do you need them to succeed in your political life?
I don't believe that it's about needing anyone in particular. And I don't want to make this about me when it comes to politics. It's about serving the people in Mesopotamia and serving the people of Belize. And that's what I am doing. I am in a unique position where I have a voice that is louder than most. And I have a platform and a spotlight that is more than most. And so for me, it is about talking about policies, not talking about me and what necessarily I need, but that will be tested.
Yeah.
That will be tested in short order.
Intriguing. It's intriguing what you have in mind, you know.
Yes.
Let's keep it. We'll take a break.
Yeah, sure.
We'll come back and we'll continue the conversation.
And unstable conditions will prevail today. And in the 24-hour forecast, skies will be cloudy with a few showers and thunderstorms expected around the country today, decreasing by this evening. Then a few showers and isolated thunderstorms should redevelop over the south tonight, with isolated shower activity elsewhere. High temperatures will reach around 87 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 91 inland, then 82 up in the hills. Low temperatures for tonight will reach around 78 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 74 inland, then 68 in the mountains. Winds over the open sea will be from the east to northeast at 5 to 15 knots, with sea conditions being light chop to choppy. Then high tides occur at 9:42 this morning and at 11:22 tonight. Low tides at 5:21 this evening, then at 4:07 tomorrow morning. The sun will set at 6:31 this evening and rise at 5:21 tomorrow morning, while moonrise is at 7:23 tonight and moon set at 6:38 tomorrow morning. And now for the extended forecast. Skies will be partly cloudy with isolated showers or thunderstorms developing for Wednesday and Wednesday night. And now for the sargassum update. There is a medium to high chance of more sargassum mats affecting coastal destinations during the next few days, producing low to moderate impacts. And finally for the tropical weather outlook. Tropical cyclone formation is unexpected over the North Atlantic Basin during the next 48 hours. And this has been this morning's weather report from the National Meteorological Service.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. And we are 23 minutes away from 8 o'clock.
Yes.
And
Yep.
in the studio, we have Moses Shine Barrel joining us on the couch. Conversation already getting very interesting.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, Ernesto. In the newscast this morning, as what Ernesto delivered, you were in there because the leader of the opposition is stating that she has asked her lawyers to look at some of the recent posts that you made, alluding to the fact that what you said could be defamatory or scandalous or libelous or whichever one of them that they would actually choose. But somehow she felt that she's being defamed there, and so. But your position came for a long time. You've been out of the political spotlight doing your thing, and so you came back with like bam.
Well, if you notice, every time I return to Belize, I give my opinion on what is happening, and I'm entitled to that opinion as a political figure. We can't be upset when Oscar Mira goes after my dear mentor, Alberta August, party chairman of the UDP Emeritus, and then not have the same resistance, have the same tolerance for criticism. The Defamation Act is clear. I am very familiar with it, and political figures are subject to the opinions of the public, the opinions of political opponents. And I have an opinion on Tracy Pantan, which is that she has facilitated corruption. And I give the example when it comes to John Saldiva. When John Saldiva was designated as significantly corrupt by the United States, which has never been done before in this country. And we can't hold the Americans in regards as we do whether PUP or UDP. Both governments agree that is our strongest bilateral partner. And the Americans don't go around doing these things arbitrarily. And if they do, they're subject to civil litigation. And Mr. Saldiva has not taken any civil recourse thus far to clear his name. So we have to take for granted that they did what they needed to do before they arrived at this position. And I, along with many people, stood up and said, you know what, we disassociate ourselves with these alleged acts of corruption. It is not the direction that the UDP is going. This is not who we are. And we want to distance ourselves from that. And I consulted with colleagues. We convened the party organs to take the necessary steps to analyze, to evaluate, and make certain decisions. There was a special select committee that met the then party chairman, Perry Feet, and others that voted that based on the designation of significant corruption, Mr. Saldiva should no longer be a candidate for the UDP. There was another vote, a subsequent vote at the MPC, which, although they call me a dictator, the alliance, I call them Alliance for Corruption, but so-called Alliance for Democracy, that Tracy spearheaded, I allowed, as I had to, according to the Constitution, for all the petitions that Mr. Saldiva could make to all bodies to prevail. Unlike what is happening in the party right now. You know, the party that what Sheena say, that what Tracy say, that what Farber say, and it done. And in that vote, Tracy abstained, her chairlady, and her secretary. And that's how Saldiva was able to prevail. So don't tell me about corruption of the Miras or the PUPs. And we were discussing that off air. That's another thing. But with Saldiva in particular, that's an important evidentiary position that I have that supports my opinion, right, of her actions in being complicit in facilitating people that have been alleged to be involved in corruption. Even Khalid Bilal. Belmopan City Council is investigating him right now for what they claim are tens of millions of dollars missing during his time as mayor. Again, Tracy herself said that John needs to go to the back because of the allegation corruptions, but when it was time to overthrow me and lead the coup d'etat, John was okay. And then after she used John to overthrow me, now that Khalid Bilal, but then Khalid Bilal was right there with John, with Lev Derman. The pictures are there. He was in California meeting with Lev Derman and John Saldiva when the trances were being collected for pious reasons, according to John, right? There are pictures of Khalid Bilal and Lev Derman getting on the private plane, or Lev Derman getting off the private plane. Either way, if John Saldiva should be condemned to the dustbin of history because of his affiliation with Lev Derman, then how is it that Khalid Bilal, according to Tracy Pantan, is going to be the
Next
candidate
bearer.
for Belmopan? And we haven't even had conventions. So where is the democracy in that, and where is the stand against corruption in that? These are things that I said.
But how you stack that up against what is happening now as it relates to the government?
But one
and
more
the-
thing
and the
about
Mira
corruption.
situation?
One more thing
Okay.
about corruption, and as it pertains to Tracy Pantan. Justice Honduras made a decision that her attempt to overthrow me, that fake convention, that fraudulent convention, was just that. That was not a UDP convention, and they had ads, they had everything, a campaign. Mr. Faber come on this couch and say, yes, October 20th, we'll have a new leader. Where's the repercussion for that? Is that not corruption? That they took the UDP constitution and tore it up and threw it in the garbage? According to the judge, it's not my opinion anymore. Because they said it was a convention, we maintain that it wasn't, and the judge agreed with us. That is corruption, when you don't follow your constitution. So as far as what is happening right now with the allegations of corruption, what I find is that the UDP has no plan. Current UDP leadership has no plan, has no vision. I have not heard it articulated. I had lunch with a public officer over the weekend. We were there with some people visiting from the States, mutual friends, and she mentioned exactly what I was telling you. She said, it's such a shame, Shine. She said, I was not a fan of yours. And so when it was happening, when they were overthrowing you, I said, yes, all right. And, you know, I'm a woman, so I wanted to see a woman lead. And the lady says she couldn't be more disappointed. She's embarrassed. She's ashamed that she supported that coup because she has not heard a plan articulated for leading the country of Belize. All right, get rid of John Briceño. Then what? She has not heard that articulated by the current leader or her leadership team. All we hear is Chicken Little crying about the sky is falling. We hear about the mirrors, okay. Corruption. But we were talking about this off air. If corruption, which leads me to the other mention that I posted about Tracy, if corruption is determined by family members doing business with the government, then when you go to the borough administration, there was a lot of that, Troy. And she personally participated in that with that Bolido contract. I know this.
How so?
I know. Well, she was the Minister of State, and she had to agree along with Erwin Contreras to give that contract, and everybody knew that that the Prime Minister's son have shares in the Bolido business. I know they say that that was corrupt. She is saying that the Miras are corrupt because they did business with the government, because I know they took up for no Mira. I told Oscar Mira that he was wrong for what happened with Alberto. I told him before he took that very, very, as we now see, misguided course of action, I told him not to do it. I told him that he would be creating an ant's nest and that he would rue the day that he did it. And I have commented publicly on political persecution and taking our country to a banana republic with these types of acts. So I don't know fan nobody, but I am fair. And all I'm saying is, it has yet to be proven, yes, there's a pattern of disbursements that are below a threshold. And because of that, that has raised a red flag to see, well, why did they do it that way? But we have yet to uncover evidence that has said the Miras got $10 million and gave the government nothing. Or the Miras got $10 million and what they gave the government was only worth $1 million. That has not come out. And in all, I have to be fair. I am not going to jump on the bandwagon to bring down a PUP or to bring down a UDP or to bring down no P. I am for the Belizean people. And so an investigation is warranted so that we can get to the bottom of it, because Chicken Little, they say one thing, and all of the political expedient people are saying one thing, but we need to know the truth of the matter. Was value for money given? The Miras have been doing business with the government of Belize since the UDP. Let us be fair. I don't know fan and nobody, and the position I am in, I don't need none of that. I don't need politics. I don't need a UDP. I don't need a PUP. As Brother Ernesto has pointed out, I'm okay in my entertainment realm, and he can't even understand why I would want to return to politics.
I think
based
that's it.
on the success that I am having out there, and I will continue to have on the projects that I am working on. That gets me full up to the next 10 years if I would choose so. So I speak as a patriot when I speak. I speak as someone that loves Belize, and I want the best for Belize, and I want the best not just for my daughter, because I have the financial wherewithal to provide it for her. I want the best for everybody, daughter and son. I want the best for those security officers. I want the best for other public officers. I want, and we need to create a Belize where you don't have to be a political crony in order to succeed in life. And we have to work towards that. We have to keep talking about that. We have to keep making difficult decisions to achieve that. And until the day I die, hopefully that is when I'm 120, that is what I will be pushing for.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
so you will continue doing what you're doing on the political realm. Not necessarily, you're saying, I'm not necessarily going to run with the UDP or run into elections.
I am
as
definitely
long as I
running.
keep advocating for the goodness of the people, because you can do that outside.
Yes.
You could join us here on this
Yes.
and
Well,
do that.
That's what I said when you asked. You asked. If I think I made it clear. I said when I return, every time I return, I go to my community. I was born in Mesopotamia, so no disrespect to other politicians who go and run in a constituency that they don't have any ties.
Yeah,
I was
nothing in
born in Mesopotamia. I was born on Carousel Street. That's where I eat Sunday dinner every Sunday once I'm in the country, forever, right? I Ghana Grace Primary, I Ghana Queen Square Anglican, I Ghana Wesley Upper, right? This is my community. I will never leave that community, no matter who the area representative.
What I'm trying to
but
draw-
hold on. So when I return, I go sit on Palmyra, I go walk Pan
Awesome,
Euphrates,
awesome.
I
Yeah,
go
that's
walk
good.
Dean Street. So I had to tell you what the stakeholders are telling me. Some of the same people that voted against me are telling me, Pops, we need to get rid of this era representative. We need to recall he have to go. And if you listen to what I said earlier, I said, on a shore that the one want
But
to.
Belizean politics, you have to be associated to a party.
No, that's your opinion, fine. The point that I am making is what the people are telling me, and that is under the current circumstances where they know I want nothing to do with the leadership of the UDP, but I had a UDP. Same way then I'm a UDP and they never want nothing to do with me. And they had two UDP, they had Tracy UDP and Shine UDP, all kind of people, same knife, stick sheep, one stick goat. Anyway, the point that I am making is I ask them what they want, because politics is not what about I want. If the people know elect you, then there's not anything that you can do. And for me, I'm in a position where, as you said, I can advocate right here. I can advocate with my voice on the stage, in film, in my music. I can find many ways to advocate for the Belizean people.
Influence.
Yes, I can use my financing, and that's what I said.
Yeah.
It could be that I finance Darrell Bradley to lead the UDP. So there's no...
You bring up something interesting.
Yes,
here.
man. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. This now not about me.
So you
This
could,
hold on,
so
man.
you could change the UDP. You could, using your influence to.
This is about what is best
You're
for the
familiar with what's
country.
happening in the United States.
Yeah.
We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
We have now some socialist Democrats
Yeah.
being elected into the Democratic Party.
Yes.
Are we talking maybe something similar that you, within the UDP, you could change the structure and change the way it is?
Of course.
To make it, because
And
obviously you're
anything
not
is
happy
possible.
with the UDP right
and
now.
And not just me not happy. This is the conversation all around. Right now, you have a controversy. I know they're talking about Alan Pollard and Eliud Miller. Right now, Philip Willoughby is being denied the opportunity to run in a convention against Jacqueline Willoughby, who had just come, who was another one that participated in the corruption because she was the interim or pro tem chairwoman, yes, when they had their fake fraudulent convention. And remember, they used Philip Willoughby. Remember when he got married to the era representative's daughter? And everybody would leave it a, I don't know, I use the wrong word. I don't want to insult nobody, but I mean, it was clear that you can't run against the era rep and you're married to your daughter. At least that was the majority opinion. I took that to the shadow cabinet. Unanimously, they voted that, yes, man, we could figure out something. Get a man one senatorship or make it go to another division. Can't run the port. I went to the central executive, voted, can't run the port. NPC can't run the port. They took that and they said, oh, that's the straw that will break the camel's back. How will you do that to Philco? How you do that to Philip Willoughby? I know poorly Philip want
Run for mayor.
want to run for mayor. And they declined his application. And they did that. You see, Jacqueline Willoughby.
Yeah, you have any predictions on the
Out and
2027 municipal?
I believe that it will be a disaster for the UDP. They have no money, which is terrible.
Even in light of the Mira scandal and all of that, you don't.
But
believe that.
again, what is the Mira scandal? The Mira scandal. One thing the UDPs used to be good at with the Audrey Wallace and the Doug Singhs is they know how to do PR. They know how to put lipstick on a pig and tell you that pig that Miss Belize, right? They know how to do it. So when you talk about scandal, they know how to manufacture their thing, man. They know how to, like I just said to you, you couldn't really counter. What is the scandal? What is the scandal, right? Because we have not gotten evidence until the Auditor General concludes We have not gotten any evidence of...
You feel confident that
Yeah.
you would get a fair audit report? Generally, you have the skeptics that are out there, and it's a fair question in my mind that skeptics are out there. In my mind, because I know the Auditor General and persons being professional will act professionally, I believe we'll get authenticity. But they're the general feeling because of the years and years of being duped. We do have cynicism.
Yes, years and years of being duped, Troy, and this is the point that I always try to make, and why the UDP needs a complete overhaul. And politics in general needs a complete overhaul, not just putting it on the UDP. But I remember when Saldiva was being investigated. I don't know if it was for the Danny Mason or I believe it was.
Lou?
No, not for that. I maybe that, but I think it was more the accusations from the State Department that the vessel was being misused or whatever, something on Lev Derman.
The misuse of the Coast Guard vessel.
And then the Lev Derman situation.
The Americans were the ones who financed that vessel.
And then the Lev Derman situation when he was, remember when he was expelled from cabinet? Who they put to investigate Saldiva? Marco Vidal, who everyone knows that was his personal, Vidal and Vidal crew, that was his personal security apparatus. And then Prime Minister put Vidal to investigate Saldiva, and we don't hear about that investigation yet. So that's not nothing new where there is a lack of confidence in having the rat investigate the rat for what happened to the cheese. But what we don't hear from the current leader of the opposition, we don't hear what she will do to stop corruption. We don't hear her saying, you know what, we will have an independent auditor that is selected by majority opposition. And when I say opposition, meaning civil, no, Belize, and I have confidence in our Belizeans, but civil society and opposition having the majority say on approving that independent auditor, independent inspector general.
And I would go a little farther that you need to put some teeth into the
But this is what I'm saying. We don't hear that from the opposition. But we don't hear. We don't hear any solution. We don't hear any policy that they have for the country to treat the matters. All they are telling you, why you're sick. Why you're sick. All right, I'm sick. But how I could heal. How I could get better.
Well, that's been a trend. You know that.
Okay.
We talked about that this morning.
Okay, but why is it?
In opposition,
it's not okay for that trend to continue.
Right.
That trend needs to stop, and it needs to stop now.
No, we need to, and that is why, like you said, we don't have the trust in the system anymore, because at the end, you just brought up, at the end of this whole audit, and I've heard it from other commentators across the media, we're going back right to where we were. And I was asking you before, we had a situation with Andre Perez. Did we learn anything from that? Did he learn anything from that?
And the people in Belize Rural South voted for him overwhelmingly.
Yes. Re-elected
and I'll tell you, and I said this, kudos to the Love Foundation, by the way, and the U.S. State Department, U.S. Embassy, that had the Democracy Boot Camp. It was an event, a one-day event in Dangriga. And I gave a presentation on, ethical governance. And one of the things that I mentioned, and I don't say this to belittle the Belizean people or to demean them in any way, I say this to condemn the political leaders for what they have done to our people, to most of our people. But I believe from memorial, from independence, and maybe even before that, these political party movers and shakers, these members of parliament on both sides, they get together and they sit down and they say, here what, Troy, we want to keep the people illiterate, uneducated, unemployed, impoverished, and they will be desperate, thus desperately dependent on you and I, Troy. So when time comes, we'll have a lead transaction, and if you got more money, you win. I got more money, I win. Deal? Because then the people will lose no matter what. Because remember, they need me or you. They're dependent on me or you. And they're uneducated, so they're not critical think. They're unskilled, so they not have no job. They're impoverished, so they want need to leave 50. And if we keep this cycle going, we could steal billions and billions of dollars and give it to all of our cronies and all of our political friends and family. And we keep this thing going forever. And we house and we mansions and apartments in Miami and in all these different places. What you think, Troy?
Well,
deal? That is what has happened. So now we need political figures, which I believe there are some in the PUP. There are some in the PUP that think like me and don't want that for Belizeans. And there are some in the UDP that don't want that for the Belizean people. And I would hope to see more people entering the political spectrum that don't want that. And I would hope to see the Belizean people emancipate themselves from that transactional nature.
All right, that's food for thought. Let's take the break, and we'll come back and continue with the Honorable Moses Shineborough. 8 minutes after 8 o'clock, this is the morning show. Ernesto and Troy here, and on this couch we have Shine Barrow. Good morning, sir.
Good morning again, my brother.
Once again. Before you were talking about what we want for Belize, and I, if anybody doesn't agree with you, then something is wrong with them. We want the good thing for the country. We have good people in politics. It's just that the system needs
Some
to
good
be,
people.
Some good people. It's just that the system needs to be, like you said, rebuilt or a new way to do things. Do you think it's a good time for a third party?
Absolutely. I think...
Could somebody maybe like you, get together and form?
Listen,
I think the time would be right.
It's something to look at. All options should always be considered. It could be, as you mentioned earlier, there is an overhaul internally in the UDP. It could be that, remember, the UDP is an amalgamation of third parties, right? The Honduran Independence Party went from the Honduran Independence Party to an amalgamation with the National Party, and it became NIP. Then you had PDM, you had
Lindo,
which was Lindo. Then you had Esquivel and Ned Vasquez. So it could be that that is the solution, and not just me. What about the unions forming a third party, right? What about that? What about a youth party? What about all the young people coming together? We live in a majority youth population. What about that? And it's something I spoke at the Democracy Boot Camp. I want the best solution more than I want to be Prime Minister, more than I want to sit in a cabinet. I just want a better Belize, and whoever is going to do that, whoever is going to bring that about, they have my full support. If it means that I have to offer myself, if it means that I have to support someone or some people that share my vision, I'm a team player. I've certainly learned that during my time as leader of the UDP and leader of the opposition. It's about the team. It's about what the people want. And it's about convincing people. You have to convince people. You can't bullyreg people. You can't drag people. And I'm talking about not just the team, I'm talking about the Belizean people. So we have to find the right solution for the Belizean people. What is going to inspire them? What is going to give them hope? Because all that I'm saying will take buy-in from private sector, will take buy-in from the people.
Well, it takes a leader.
Yes.
It takes someone to put it together.
Yeah. And what I'm saying is, people used to get upset at me, or they were offended.
Used to?
Maybe they still do. But they used to be offended when I would say, the next Prime Minister of Belize, I'll be the next Prime Minister of Belize. I was just manifesting my destiny. And I was a leader of the opposition. So what have to say? I want to be in opposition forever, right? The opposition leader is the Prime Minister in waiting.
Yeah.
So I have to proclaim my destiny. But now that I don't occupy an office, I repeat, and I said this when I just came back from selling out King's Theatre. I said, it don't have to be me, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I don't have to be Prime Minister. I don't have to be party leader. I just want what is best for Belize, what is best for the UDP, what is best for democracy, and I am prepared to play whatever role I need to play in bringing that about so that my daughter and other daughters and sons can have the Belize that they deserve.
So you'll do this. You'll do this as an influencer, not necessarily that your name will be as a candidate for 2030.
There's no hard and finite position because it's a team effort, and there are many people that I am in conversations with from all the different stakeholders, maybe some names that I have mentioned, and it is about coming up with the right solution. If that means me returning to Mesop, if that means me contesting to be leader of the UDP, if that means me supporting someone to be leader of the UDP, whatever it means, I am saying that I am amenable. I am open to whatever is going to provide a viable alternative for the Belizean people to consider. Because right now there's no viable alternative for the Belizean people to consider. But no make no ghost fool you. Someone that is leader of Chicken Little just telling you that the sky is falling, no solution, no policy, no manifesto.
As you're there, in terms of the solution, because you made the point that what we are seeing is a manifestation, these are symptoms, these are not the illness. As you move around within the Mesopotamia area, which is considered a portion of depressed area,
yes.
What it is that you believe or hear or would put forward as a solution, as a healing mechanism for spurts are the criminal activities that we are seeing or the crime situation that we're experiencing. Is there anything that sticks with you as a solution mechanism?
It goes to education, it goes to vocational training, which gives self-worth, which gives skill, family structure. You know, that's something that I had dealt with early on when I was just deputy chairman of the constituency, and when I became standard bearer, I used to actually have classes with human development to bring families together, even in co-parenting situations, because what we have are these children who are being raised by gangs. And what we have is it's a thin line. It's a thin line where you don't want to condemn people. You want to give people a chance to change. But I agree with the government in looking at LIU to see how they can make it more effective, to see if they need to redirect or recreate, because obviously it's not working.
Yeah.
Right? People that were getting paid to do whatever in LIU are the same people getting arrested for committing crimes. We have state of emergency and bodies are still dropping. So the government and previous governments have failed
Does anybody have the
in
answer?
solving the crime. But I'm just telling you what some of the issues are. We need to get serious with education, and as I said,
They said they have free education, right? Every time I bring that up, they said tuition is free.
not necessarily, but then it goes further. We need to be able to, all right, so if free for go to school,
Yes.
but then if you're from an impoverished household and you go to school, you don't even want to go to school if you don't got no breakfast to eat.
And they said they give you one meal as well, and they
You
give
get
you
a meal as
uniform,
well.
and they give you books.
Okay.
This is what's in
All
the
government
system
schools.
now. All government
schools.
All government
Yeah.
schools.
It started with 4 on the south side.
Kudos
and now
to
they're expanded out.
kudos to the government.
The NHI has
kudos
expanded
to
for health.
Minister Fonseca. I know that he had a health issue the other day. I wish him healing mercies. I sincerely pray for him. I found him to be an upstanding colleague my time in Parliament. I worked well with him for the sake of the Mesopotamia people. So I definitely hold him in the highest regards. But kudos to the government for that. But that is government schools, high school, primary. Then we need to take that to tertiary. We need to, what is the vocational investment?
Well, again, the
What
IT
is the
vets,
vocational investment?
The IT vets come up. You see all of these things that you're saying, we challenge. And
please.
when we challenge and said, but these things need to be done. And I
Okay.
said, but IT vets are there. So the question is, how do we get
But is
people to
IT
go
vet-
in?
But is IT vet free?
Absolutely. So the point
It
is
is
this,
free.
yeah, they're saying that the whole process is set up
for certain communities.
Exactly.
All right.
But the point that they're saying that the deficiency is attendance,
Yeah.
enrollment. There seem to be a
So
deficiency.
right now, if I have 5, 10 young men and women in
Get in touch
Mesopotamia.
with the ministry and the
because I want you to understand, my position for free is not free for Naomi Barrow, who doesn't need free education. Thank God. Right? My position of free education and free anything is for the people that desperately need it. And I think if we approach it that way, you can find the money.
I think we are approaching it that way. I mean, these government schools were created in areas,
but not necessarily everybody in a government school
but remember,
might need the same type of.
But because of what I gather, because we interviewed these people when they came with it, when they came and put forward these things, it was Sadie Vernon.
Education is free.
Yeah, it was Sadie Vernon.
Everyone.
It was Gwen Liz. Let's start with the high schools first. They started on the south side with Sadie Vernon, Excelsior, Maud Williams, and what was the other school? There were 4 of them. Oh, Gwen Liz. So there was four of them that they started with. But when I check back with these persons, they come back a couple months later. They had a problem with enrollment because I felt the schools should have been overflowing with application.
I'll have to reach out to the minister. As I said, I hold him in high regard. But I'm telling you, there were many people complaining in Mesopotamia that the schools were saying that the monies weren't paid. And these are schools.
No, but you're talking like
government schools.
If you're getting a scholarship and so as it relates to maybe like HJC or so, that's not a government school.
No, I'm not talking the HJC.
But my understanding, and I'm only regurgitating what these persons says. All you needed to do was to turn up, go and register.
But
you register and you'll be qualified.
I know some single mothers that called me complaining, and I had to give money.
But it wasn't for people to pay anything, you know. You just turn up. That's what they say.
No, but what I'm saying is, you can't get the report card, or you can't move to the next grade.
No.
Not for those schools.
Not for those schools.
Not for those schools. I asked all those questions when these persons.
But are those government schools?
The ones that I listed for you just now. Those are government schools.
I'm talking about government schools.
Yeah. So I listened to you. They started with these 4. They started with these 4, and my understanding with this last budget, the same Minister of Education that you're giving the kudos to, Honorable Francis, stand up and said we're expanding this program to all the government schools countrywide. So technically, all of those schools, I would suspect starting this school here would be
this
offering.
One coming up.
The idea is. Not to get confused with like schools like Palote, SJC, SCA. So if you're going to those schools, you require scholarships. That's a different.
Well, listen,
that's a different.
Education is just.
From my understanding,
education is just one thing, though. You asked me the solution for crime.
Yes.
I told you family.
Well,
human development needs to do far more, as far as family counseling. You know, mother and father, who have their own traumas, who lack parenting, and so they inherit that deficient parenting. And I wouldn't say finally, but one of the most important is accountability.
Okay.
The criminal justice system needs to deal more stringently with those committing the crimes. And the community needs to embrace that, because you see in communities sometimes the community protecting the people that are committing these heinous crimes, and we can't have it both ways.
Remember, you can't educate the people who don't want to be educated.
Right?
Remember that.
You can't have it both ways. No, but what I'm saying is the government needs to do, that's why again when they were going to expand, or I'm not sure if expand is the proper term. I think they were going to codify laws that are already on the books. Again, opposition come in and they rile up and they say, oh, it'll give too much power to the police. The police already have the power. Oh, but then you have to change the whole constitution and that one, make it. and the government end up reversing course. But this is what I'm saying. Just for political expediency, they will refuse to not agree with the government on something.
We discuss about that. We get emotional.
Yes, but we need, listen, we need to hold them accountable. I was held accountable.
Let's go
I
back.
was held accountable when I
Dr.
was...
Zabane says here,
Yeah.
great conversation. It's not just access and cost to school, but what is most critical is quality. Competency-based education is what solves that. Now we are awaiting the teachers being trained for the CBE, which is the competency-based education.
Okay, so
But
idea of free
accountability,
education.
accountability, the
But
criminal
how you will
justice
get
system.
accountability
I'm
is
talking
by
in the-
enforcing the laws. We go back
Yes.
to this whole thing.
And,
'Cause we
and
have
then
good
remember
laws,
we
you know.
talked about the security forces earlier,
Yeah.
building them up so that they go out, because right now the security forces, unfortunately, they deal with their own corruption. The bad man, where they move the marijuana, where they move the cocaine, he could pay the police more than the government is paying the police. And then remember, a lot of the violence that we see happening has to do with narco trafficking. Lot of it.
Okay,
A
let's
lot
go
of
back.
those murders have to do with that.
Do you think
Yeah.
you think we need to put in legislation where you must go to school?
Yes.
The Constitution, I think, doesn't say you have to go to school, right? It says you have the right.
No, I think they
up
made
to
that.
the age of
You have
16.
to. You have
Yes,
the
up
right.
to age
Up
of
to the age
16.
of, they extended it from 14 to
Yes.
16.
Yes, I agree with that.
So enforcement there again. Why are you not in school?
Yes. But that's why I talk
Don't
about
we have truants in
human
ours?
development.
Yes, and remember that's an
So-
old law in the books too.
Exactly.
As Shine has alluded to,
Yes.
the law is there.
Yes, but that's what I'm
That's-
talking about.
so
Human
you
development.
have to go
so
to
human
school.
development.
They have
needs-
to come together.
Human development needs to be more active, and wherever there's a young person, that's why we need census, and we need to human development along with Ministry of Education should identify all of these people up to the age of 16, and they need to ensure that they are in school.
If you regulate that you have to be in school,
Yes.
and the child is not in school, then you're going to find out, and then we come back to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Once you find out that while the child not in school, you find out the parents, as I say, they are dysfunctional, they
Yes.
have their own issues. That creates another issue.
Well,
you
that's
have to
where
solve.
human development should come
Right.
in
And
to
this
try
all
to get the
feeds on
parent to
itself.
be functional.
Right. One leads to the next.
Yes. Well, it
And
costs.
I think
it costs
as
to
a system
take care of our people.
Right. I think this is where we are a little scared. It's like going to the doctor, and you say, "I'm not going to the doctor because he might tell me I got one disease." So you
Well,
avoid it.
remember, I know.
So
I know.
as a leader, or somebody who wants to lead, these are the
I would
areas where you
spend
have
money
to.
on these things before I spend money on these highways and roundabouts. Remember, I know I quarrel with my good friend Julius Espat, but remember,
I like my roundabout.
I no, but then you have to make a choice. This is what I'm saying. This is what I said earlier. You have to decide.
There's little point going to school if the student do not receive quality education. Is that something that you would ascribe to?
Again,
Well,
what's
it can't be.
quality
It can't be
education?
all or nothing.
You teach. You
It
learn
can't be all or
English,
nothing.
reading,
It can't be,
writing,
well, I'm not going to school
Right.
until we get the
Yeah.
what did he call the CBD the
the CBE.
yeah CBD.
the competent-
It can't be
competency based.
until and then there's another issue with that as far as teachers being able to afford that, teachers being able to have the time to deal
Hold
with
on,
that.
guys. I mean,
There are many
look,
issues.
all the schools you mentioned, Gwen Liz, and all the schools already had an education going. Now, because it's free now, all of a sudden we're going to put a quality and standard in that education?
I don't
It's
have
an
a,
education.
I don't have a quarrel. I don't have a quarrel
neither do
with with the minister, with brother Zabane. I don't have a problem with wanting the education to be quality, but that is not to me that is not the
These
crisis.
schools are already
The
teaching.
crisis,
You know, they
the
say
crisis
perfection is the enemy of the good.
The crisis is access. Yeah, George Price used to say that. The crisis is access, and you're saying that
Access is
accessibility,
there, yeah.
according to the minister, has been
Yes.
solved somewhat.
Yes.
Then now the next crisis would be enforcement.
It's not me saying it. It's every time I bring up those
Enforcement.
same symptoms that you talk about. then I'm said, here is our solution.
I'll follow up. I will put a call out today.
Yes, yes.
And tell everyone to come to my office who goes to government school if they have not had their education papers.
Just reach out to the ministry and get your own.
Well, no, first I have to hear from the people.
Yeah.
Because the people then will come and they will say, no, Mr. Shine, I don't get my report card because the bill not pay. Then I will go to the minister and bring it to him personally, right? Because as I said,
well, that shouldn't be a problem.
I'm not here to...
A free tuition,
that will not be a problem.
The government is providing that. There's nothing that should hold up your report
But
card.
I think accountability in the criminal justice system, if
Well,
you know,
that you have to
look
add
at
that.
what happened, you know, God bless the family, deepest sympathies to Brother Mohammed, also known as David Harmouche.
The Harmouche
family. And the Harmouche family and the Lebanese community, all throughout, particularly in San Pedro and David Jones' family. How could people feel that they could just... That execution, that wasn't a robbery,
That's a hit.
in my opinion. But far too often we're seeing this. And Belize to smile for people to be able to get away with these things. But again, I don't know what led to that. I don't want to speculate. But if the police could be paid off easily because they don't get paid enough.
No, I agree with you.
Right? Then we'll never get to the bottom of these things. So if you got enough money, I said it before and I knock on wood, murder, that the easiest crime to get away with in Belize. And that should not be the case. And this is what I'm saying about how do you solve the crime problem. We need to end the corruption in the police department and we need to get the conviction rate
and you're
going,
saying the only way to do that is to invest more in the
yes, the people that are charged with policing the crime and policing the criminals. If they are working with the criminals, how will I solve it? No Briseño, no Barrow, nobody will ever solve it.
Well, Ms. Tracy will solve it.
Yes, well, she not even the gear these solutions.
It's 8:31.
I'll see to tell you that the sky is falling.
You don't mind staying with us? Well, you're okay.
Yeah, well, you know.
All right.
I definitely leave vacation right now.
I said, man, there's summertime.
Are they in an album mode? So, you know, I'm going back to work for me.
I hope when you write one of your songs,
we don't even talk about the albums.
No, when we come back,
when we come back, we'll talk about the albums.
We want to talk about your music. That's why I did try. Yes, I want to mention one of the song. It's 8:31.
You see how Jay-Z said at the Knicks game with Spike Lee, I said that at the Defenders game with
We'll take a break. We'll take a break. 26 minutes away from 9 o'clock. This is the morning show, Love FM, Love TV. Thank you for choosing us. Shan Barra with us in the studio. We've been talking about your involvement in politics. I'm still not sure how you're going to wrap these two together, but I think I understand. Because of who you are, you can influence the system somehow. It's either by maybe running for election, but you've been telling us you're really busy with your career, your artistic career. In 2030.
Yes.
2030.
I'll be finished by then.
You'll be finished by then.
What's on the iron? What's your cooking?
So right now I'm here. I came home for Father's Day. I just performed in front of 15,000 people in Atlantic City at a festival, along with Meek Mill, Eve, and T.I.
They're still performing?
My fellow Grammy, yeah, boy, T.I. is on fire right now.
Eve too?
She's returning. She's celebrating her I think it's her 25th anniversary.
Would have been.
As well, for her first album.
Yeah.
And I came home on Father's Day. I left the venue, got straight on the flight, spent time with my daughter, and I'm going to spend a couple weeks finishing up my albums. I have 5
albums.
I have 5 albums.
Wow.
5 albums, and I have the way I create my albums is everything is the producer. It's all about the producer. Before I even think about who I rap on the song, where I say about the song,
who will produce it,
who will produce it, and when you hear that music, oh my goodness, the music that I have, I can't go wrong. The producer is everything. And so
are you going to use multiple producers on these?
I met with all of my dream producers, and that's how I got 5 albums. And that's Dr. Dre, that is Swiss Beats, Timbaland, RZA, Jermaine Dupri.
Jermaine still around?
Of course, he's
still in LA?
One of the greatest.
Atlanta?
One of the greatest.
Okay.
One of the greatest, right?
Okay, I know.
Polo the Don, Pooh Bear, Hit Boy. For those who don't know who Hit Boy is, that's N-Word in Paris. That's Jay-Z's biggest record ever. Beyonce, Kanye West, one of the greatest hit makers. So once I get Boy Wonder just produced Drake's the biggest selling album of the year, #1 on the charts for 4 weeks, biggest hip hop album. So, like, he gave me a whole album.
So you'll be in the hip hop genre.
Hold on. He gave me a whole album, Boy Wonder. He sent me like 20 beats, and I was able to take 10 that I love. So that's the album right there. So now the way I do it, that's how I create my albums. Then now I come up with concept. So the first album is The Honorable, right? Second album, Rap Prime Minister. Third album, Actual Intelligence. Fourth album, AM PM 1236. That's our love album. So the first 3 are straight hip hop. That album, I just said AM PM 1236 is about being in love and the highs, the lows, the euphoria, the apprehension, just everything about being in love, man and woman in love, and that entire terrain. And I believe that deserves an entire album. And then the final album will be Belizean Breeze. And that will be an album with Punta, Paranda, Ivan Duran, DJ Perf, reggaeton, reggae, dancehall,
so it'll be
Latin
a mixed genre.
Afro-pop. That'll be it, done. So I'll release the first one in November, The Honorable. I'll release Rap Prime Minister 2027. I'll release Actual Intelligence 2028. I release AM PM 1236 2029, and I'll finish with Belizean Breeze 2030.
It's almost like an album a year.
Yes, and then I done.
How has your music changed now than what you did?
The conversation that we are having here
has influenced your...
The conversation that we are having here, that is what I rap about. And that is just life, right? But what people, or some people may not understand, because there is a stigma, there's a stereotype of hip-hop, that hip-hop has to be one way. You have to sag your pants, you know, you have to, you know, be a gangster. That is so not true. Hip-hop has always been very diverse, has always been very colorful. You would have De La Soul, then you would have Cool G Rap, right? You would have a Tribe Called Quest, and then you would have NWA. Hip-hop has never been one way, right? You can always be whoever you want to be in hip-hop, whatever that may be. And so I am getting back to the essence of hip-hop, where it was all about wordplay, all about analogies. It was real poetry. And you painting your poetry for the world, whatever that is. Rakim wasn't a gangster, but he's one of the best ever, for those who know their hip-hop. Big Daddy Kane, you know, and then yes, you had NWA, but when you listen to NWA and you listen to Dr. Dre and you really peel the layers, they were more like the Black Panthers than just straight up gangsters. So they were pushing for something better, but this is what we have, and they were showing the ugly truth nothing but that,
of
you know, America
and the WizKids.
At its lowest, right?
All I would listen to.
So yeah, so my conversation will be about my life, about my perspective on life as a 47-year-old political leader, father,
hip-hopper,
you know, humanitarian. Yes.
Any cameos or any collab, anything that you have planned that is going to be significant?
Dr. Dre is my biggest so far.
Okay.
I got him to rap on the first album, and he produced a few songs on the first album. So, but the rest you'll have to wait and see. But that in itself, that was the...
Yeah, well, that's I mean, big as it gets in terms of the hip hop community.
Yes.
Has your audience changed?
Well, you know, King Stater was a great test of that.
There was some nostalgia,
to be able to sell out a couple thousand people after not performing for 25 years says a lot as to where the audience is. And I believe hip-hop is in a very, excuse me, unique state right now where 47-year-olds, they have the purse. So my audience has grown with me.
Matured.
And that audience is still attending concerts, is still streaming music, is still keeping hip-hop alive. And I'm not interested in making music that will appeal to a particular demographic. So it's not like I try and make young people music or I try and make old people music. I just want to make great music. I go back to my musical hero, Bob Marley. He made music that people loved young and old. And I think that's the challenge of making great music. A great song that will transcend demographic. It will transcend age. So that's why I started with the music, with the beats. Once you have the music, and I have the producers I'm working with.
That's where the producer comes in,
yes, right? So the producers I'm working with, some iconic. That's why I go from Dr. Dre to Hit Boy. And the Hit Boy got a bop right now. He's the now. And Boy Wonder, that's the now, right? And I have a few other secrets that I want to hold close to my chest that are the people that are producing the hit records now.
How is this affecting your past music? You find that more and more people are going to check it out, a younger audience, check out your older music?
Well,
because I
yeah.
personally go look for it now.
I think
touring
definitely helps that. Me returning to the stage, definitely my streams and, you know, royalty performances have all surged significantly. And yeah, but you see, when I am creating, while I'm a businessman and I have partnerships with everyone that I do business with, and I'm very tenacious and tedious about making sure the business aspect is taken care of. Once I secure my partnerships under favorable terms, I get into creativity. Creativity is about creating the best possible product. All those other things, I don't necessarily pay attention to how much you stream. And obviously, yes, you definitely, with touring, you want to make sure that you fill up the seats, right? And so I do all I can to promote and to market. As you've seen, when I was getting ready for that King's Theatre show, I was everywhere.
Yeah.
And when we start again at the end
we did some advertising for you. We did your news all the time.
At the end of, thank you so much. Thanks to your
thanks
to your news director. Thanks to Chief. Thanks to Junior. And I want to thank you too much, Colin Tracy, and say that on a bias. Even though that might be defamatory, I have to check.
Maybe you should invite Ms. Tracy to one of your
You know,
concerts,
some of my political colleagues from the People's United Party were going to come to the show, you know. I don't want to tell you who your jam might drop, but they were going to come, but, you know, circumstances dictated otherwise.
Any record label big with your albums, or you're doing it as independent?
No, never independent. I will never do independent. I will always do a partnership.
Okay.
And so I have a partnership with Warner Brothers.
Oh, Warner.
But my partnership with Warner Brothers allows me to take my albums wherever I want to go. So I will be considering the big three, which is Warner, Universal, Sony. But I'm not there yet. Right now, I just want to create.
Okay.
And I want to create the best possible music. And then when I'm done, we sit and we talk cash.
At some point, you really want to influence the Belizeans to eventually elect and want a better governance system.
Yes.
In your musical career, have you identified any person, either as an artist or as a producer or as an engineer or so on, that you can mentor now and kind of take them along with you, that person, and let them understand how this works outside of Belize and in the big world of production of music, how competitive it is. You know how it is. You could fail. You could be successful today, tomorrow you fail. All these things we need to understand. While you've been living in Belize, has any artist or any person struck you with, this person has talent and deserves to get some exposure? It might not lead to anything, but at least their experience would be invaluable.
Well, the record would reflect that as ambassador of music, I helped to discover and cultivate some of the more popular artists that emerged over the last 12 years. I'm not sure what they're doing now, but during my time, I impacted them and did my best to take them to that level. I remember T.Y., Deja, Kosa, who's producing
he's out there
for Russian. Rest in peace to Father Lee. Was my personal brethren. He passed away the other day. Rest in peace to him. I remember T.R. Shine. I helped his career.
Who opened for you, right?
I helped his career. No, Stig the artist.
Stig the artist.
I don't reach there yet. I got to all of the impact that I have had, all the mentoring, all of all that I've done over the years, that might not get talked about enough, but Father Lee had a studio called Heights of Vibe.
Heights of Vibe, yes.
I outfitted that studio. Remember when
Heights
I
of
used to
Vibe.
be at the Renaissance? And I built a studio, well, hip hop built a studio for me.
Yeah.
The A&R for Rockefeller, for Rock Nation, came and built a studio for me.
Yes.
I went on my spiritual pilgrimage and I gave the studio to T.R. Shine.
Okay.
And he will tell you that to this day. So I would have to be able to take credit for him. I remember Father Lee come right up to that studio and with tears in his eyes told me his vision for Belize. And so I tried with him. We used to have, before Kosa was Kosa, Big Bang, rest in
Big Bang,
peace.
yeah.
Before Big Bang was Big Bang, Prophet, T.Y., Deja, all of them come, the Heights of Vibe, and got mentorship from me and Father Lee. Every week or every other week we would do it, or I think it was once a week. So I've done my part. We used to have the DJ championship. We used to have the open mic night, and I used to take it all around the country. But speaking of now, I remember when I first traveled to the States, I had no interest in doing anything for myself as far as music, but I pleaded with my friend and brother, Stephen Victor, who at the time was a senior vice president at Universal Music Group. I said, please do a distribution deal. We're not ask for no hands out. Just make able to give them somewhere to go, and the talent will dictate how far they go. And if you fall in love with something, then please put the building behind it. If not, just give me the opportunity to put it out. And the audience will determine
Just the
what it will be.
exposure.
He flew to Belize on his private plane with me, and we did a few deals. I think we gave T.Y. a deal, we gave Deja a deal, we gave Super G a deal, we gave Stig a deal, and I don't know if I'm missing anyone. But I made it clear to everyone that this is about entrepreneurship. This is about you
That's right.
being the CEO and being the leader and being the determinator of your destiny. Please, I'm begging you, don't expect me to babysit you. I'm a leader of the opposition. I am not doing this. I put on it together with a distributor, but you have to keep being you. You have to keep making waves. You have to keep
Yeah,
making
work
the
hard at
impact. And I did so much as ambassador to help.
Tanya Carter was in your camp too one time.
Yes, but she's in Houston, and I'm not sure if she's as active, but definitely I gave her first deal. She'll tell people I gave her her biggest check to this day. And out of everyone, Stig has been the most active. Super G will always be Super G. Super G is an icon, a legend. And now that I have a little bit more time, I think I'm going to go see Dan Griga and catch up with him, because definitely I would like to see an album from him, a new album from him, and try put on with a Machel, with a Bunji, with some of the Afro-pop. And I would have taken some time away from what I'm doing for him in particular.
Yeah.
Because I love him as a person and I love his art. Respect to the general. But Stig, when you ask about an artist that I would take along with me,
How was the reaction
when
to him?
when I was traveling to the States, when I first went on my diplomatic mission, I took Stig a few times. I got a feature from Davido for Stig, who was a big Afro-pop artist at the time. I got DJ Khaled to get on the song, not just get on the song, but to shoot the video. Stig came to Miami, shot the video with DJ Khaled's Rolls Royce and going around Miami. But at the end of the day, the people determine your success. And it doesn't mean if that song no work, you stop next song. You continue making music. Stig is working on a new album now. But I couldn't do more than that.
No, that's
And so you asked about one. I give everything and financial support as well for Stig. I took him to, when I went to Davido in the UK, I gave Davido a proclamation and I introduced Davido to the audience, the O2 audience. I took Stig with me. And when I had the King's Theatre show, I not only took Stig, I took Keenan Sabal, who is a Garifuna drummer. Big up to my guy, Darren Casanova, Darren Sabal, who's an artist but kind of transitioned out of that, living in the States now. But I had the Garifuna drummers, who are Belizeans living in New York, drumming for me. And Stig opened up. He performed in front of 5,000 people. I had DJs, Belizean DJs, perform. My tour DJ, DJ Rampage, is a Belizean. He's actually Lauryn Hill's DJ, but we share him. When she doesn't have him, I use him. My tour manager is a Belizean, Jeff Christie, sorry. But as far as giving a Belizean an opportunity,
you've done that.
I can't do more than I've done for Stig.
Okay. I'll clear that.
I still, when they reach out to me, I still give money to different events that people are doing. I still give advice. Me and DJ Perf talk all the time. I'm here. I'm here, right? They just have to reach out. But music is different now. The landscape is different. There is no longer the option, the privilege where you can get a machine behind you, you can get an A&R, you can get one of the big threes, and they can create you. The big three is not interested in doing that right now. The big three want it ready-made, and that is where social media comes in. The audience want to tell you how they feel. There's a young man by the name Young Boy, right? NBA Young Boy. He is selling out arenas, 20,000, 30,000 people come to see him perform. He has no hit records as far as no radio, no top 40, no top 10, no pop, no nothing.
That's social media.
He have millions of subscribers on his YouTube page, and he have millions of followers on social media. They love him, but he didn't just get there overnight.
No.
He has been creating content and putting out album after album after album after album after album after album.
You
after
have a lot
album
of bands
after
and
album,
artists doing that now.
right? So Stig just have to keep putting out more albums. He's behind with his albums. He should have been putting out a different album every year. No excuse, right? But he, out of all the artists in my view, in Belize period, he is the one that has the thermostat, the 100, right? He always, know how to drop a freestyle, he know how to drop something and get everyone excited, but he has to just keep doing it. There's no end.
Yeah.
There's no stop. There's no, there's no complaints.
No.
There's no recess. There's no timeout. You keep going till the sun stop burn. And when you're gone, that's when they'll say, man, Stig them there icon.
Social media has changed everything.
But for the good and for
Yeah.
I know even know if it's bad, because you go straight to your audience.
Yeah.
So you don't even need the big tree.
I have like 3 artists on YouTube I love, and
Yeah.
if they ever have a concert, I go into them, and they're not big, but they're awesome.
Right?
The talent is there,
Right?
and they have millions of followers.
And you can get a global audience.
Yes.
So Stig and any Belizean can get an audience that's
That's right.
outside of
That's right.
Belize, and if they build their audience up, the algorithm will show you where your audience is, and you could go do a show in a Latin American country where you have a following, in an American state where you have a following, right? But you have to put in the work. The work is not easy. I get a few hours sleep because I work so hard. I'm finishing my memoirs. I didn't mention. I have
Yes, you said
3
you have
memoirs.
three
I did
memoirs
mention.
coming out, yes.
Okay, the political, spiritual, and the definitive. Yes, so I have to edit that. I'm writing that.
Are you writing that on your own, or you have
I have,
you have?
I have a team that,
You
you
could
know.
mention me in your memoirs too. No, I mean, you know.
Where Ernesto the search for? But
He wants to be iconic.
well, he do have a iconic voice, you know. He's a professional, definitely. Yeah.
Indeed. Well, we're out of time, so.
Well, thank you so much
you
for
have
having me.
You have the last word.
We gone 2 hours. I think
Is
this
it?
is the longest I've ever been.
I think so.
Tracy, I
But
definitely
it's the
prefer, you know-
longest time you have not come on. This is the
that's
Yes,
longest
you
gap.
know, I missed you guys the last time I came back to the country.
Yes, yes.
Because I had to go right back out.
This is the longest
this,
gap.
This makes up.
Yes,
I'm
that-
not giving anyone 2 hours of my time.
Well, we are most
But
grateful,
I
sir.
thank you so much for having me. Happy Mother's Day, Happy Father's Day
See,
to the
beside
people,
that-
to the people of Mesopotamia and to the people of Belize. You know, happy graduation to all of those graduates that graduated and are moving on to the next phase of their lives. And yeah, I pray for Belize. I wish the people in Mesopotamia well and the people all throughout the country well. And I thank everyone for their prayers and their support. The support has been overwhelming. And I thank Belizeans for being fair. There were so many people that didn't support me, but feel that, you know what, we were wrong. He proved himself. We're with you, Shine. You're doing this for Belize. You have our support. And so God bless them and God bless Belize.
Yeah, excellent.
Thanks again for taking
right.
out the time.
Thanks
and
for
joining
having me.
us.
Yeah.
Well,
Ernesto, the producer sent me a press release from Eliud Miller. I'll just quickly paraphrase. He just said that the conversation he had with the Prime Minister, that Prime Minister didn't ask him not to run. It was just basically candid. And when he mentioned to the Prime Minister he'll contest, the Prime Minister was respectful. So that's.
Well, I hope you guys will reach out to Philip Willoughby and ask him to confirm what I've said, that
Philip got my number.
that they're denying him the opportunity to run.
He has my number.
Okay.
So
That
just like
should-
you said,
that
they
should
can
be
reach out.
headline-
I mean, because
headline news.
we don't know everything that's happening, but they
Yeah.
can certainly reach out, and then we could set the
Yeah.
stage to have that discussion. He could probably
Yes.
even come in on the couch and have a segment discuss with us, because every discussion right now leading
yes,
up to
and
the
to-
municipal is relevant.
Yes, and to the Mesopotamia people dealing with education, please reach out if you're having issues getting your school bill paid in the government schools, so that we can solve that problem
Yes,
for you.
indeed.
But thank you again, Troy.
Excellent.
Thank you again, Ernesto.
No problem. As well, we want to thank Richard Herbert for doing a good job as usual on Love FM. So thanks, and for assisting with the producing as well. We want to thank the producer Manuela Ayuso, as well as our master control operator Ernesto William Usher.
Football fanatic.
Yes. Who
will win the World Cup?
Messi to the core.
France and win the World Cup?
William will say
Messi,
Argentina.
Messi and
Mbappe.
they gone out, or they?
No. France is still here, and
Alright.
Argentina is still in.
But you have some small countries that are.
Four teams gone home already. Four
How
teams.
about Ronaldo?
Yeah, Portugal is still. They have not played in the knockout round yet. The
Alright.
knockout round is on
So
now.
the big boys
So
are still there.
once you lose, you go home now.
All right.
There's no draw. You have to
And this
play
is
to
why
the
we
end.
need to invest more. We should believe should be.
We'll get there.
We will get there.
We will get there.
We will get there.
Everybody get a turn in
We
this
will get
region.
there.
Jamaica had their turn.
We will get
Trinidad, we
there.
had Curacao. So we're going to.
I like that mindset,
We're going
Troy.
to get. We'll get.
Soon
our
we'll
turn.
send a Belizean to the NBA.
We'll get
We'll
there.
get there. We'll send them to the NFL.
It's picking up. I could
Send
feel
them to
it.
the
I could
MLB.
see it.
If the Chinese could put somebody in the NBA, I don't see why we can't.
We just have to believe it, and we have to continue to speak it into
Yes,
existence, both in
indeed.
pocket and mouth.
Yes, and Andrew Jones for streaming as well. And all our viewers and listeners throughout the length and breadth of this beautiful jewel of ours, and those streaming in the diaspora, we're certainly glad you could join us. And if you're celebrating a birthday today on this 30th day of June, we say happy birthday. If you're celebrating an anniversary, we say we're glad you stuck it out.
That's right.
And as usual, we say come back again tomorrow, where we will do this all over again just for you. We
You'll
know
be back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're holding over Chief tomorrow?
No.
Oh, I'll be back.
I don't have that
It's
privilege.
me and Chief.
tomorrow.
Huh? We know you do have choices in where you get the entertainment and information from, and we're always glad that you choose love. And because you choose love, we always say, Ernesto,
Belize and beyond. Thanks for choosing love. Bye-bye.
bye-bye.
Good morning, Belize, and good morning. I say good morning, Belize, and good morning. And how are you this morning?
Every morning I go to work.